Session 48. Mara sat cross-legged on the couch this time, more relaxed but with that post-revelation stillness that feels both heavy and liberating. Dr. Klein glanced up from his notes. "You seem quieter today." She smiled faintly. "I think I'm tired. Not sad. Just the kind of tired that comes after you stop pretending." He nodded. "The fatigue that comes after years of performing." Her gaze dropped to her hands. "I didn't realize how much energy went into it. The texts, the updates, the constant checking if she'd respond. It was like I've been running PR for a relationship that only existed in my head." Klein smiled softly. "That's a striking way to put it. Yeah, his relations I knew what she was capable of. But I kept hoping if I phrased things right, or stayed cheerful or stayed small enough, she'd meet me halfway." "That's the tragedy of the neglected child," he said quietly. "You learn to perform love as an offering, not to connect but to survive." She looked up, eyes wet but calm. "So when I stop performing, I'm left with nothing." "Not nothing," Klein said. "You're left with grief. The mourning of a parent who's still alive but emotionally absent. That's one of the hardest kinds of loss. No funeral, no closure, just a living ghost." Mara took a long breath. "It feels wrong to grieve someone who could still call me." He leaned forward slightly. "That's the paradox of this kind of loss. The door is technically unlocked, but they'll never walk through it. So you have to decide whether to keep waiting or start living." She laughed softly. "You make it sound simple." "It isn't," he said. "But clarity doesn't need to be painless to be true." They sat in silence a moment, the rain filling the space between them. Then Klein added, "I want you to notice something. You said you're tired, but you also seem grounded. That's the body recognizing that the chase is over. You've stopped trying to control an uncontrollable system." Mara tilted her head. "It's strange, I thought letting go would feel like failure. But it feels almost peaceful. Like I can finally hear myself think." "That's what happens," he said. "When you stop worshipping a parent's approval, your nervous system recalibrates. The absence of chaos feels foreign at first. But that quiet is healing." She hesitated. "Sometimes I still want to fix it, though. Part of me thinks maybe she's just old, tired, afraid maybe she can't help it." Klein nodded. "That compassion is good, but don't let it become self-erasure. You can understand her limitations without returning to servitude." He paused, then continued more softly. "And remember, for some parents, the fear of being confronted with their failures can trigger immense shame. I've treated people like that, covertly narcissistic, fragile beneath a facade. When they sense accountability approaching, they experience panic, depression, even psychosomatic symptoms. It's their ego defending itself from collapse. So they retreat. They choose silence over growth." "So the silence is her survival strategy," Mara said. "Exactly," he said. "But it doesn't have to be yours." Mara let that settle. "I guess I've been trying to resuscitate something that died a long time ago." Klein smiled gently. "Then maybe it is time to bury the fantasy and plant something new in its place." She smiled back. "Like what?" "Your own peace," he said. "The kind that doesn't depend on anyone else answering." Outside, the rain had slowed. Inside, something else had too. The pulse of yearning that used to live under her ribs.